What's up, what's up, what's up? This is your girl, Yuta K Best, and I am here on Thursday, December 15th, with the message for the collective as we entered this wonderful, wonderful time of the solstice, which is really a much better time of the year to do resolutions than January 1st. I think most people know that the Gregorian calendar is, I don't know, ad hoc. But the cycles of nature just make a much more sense for us to follow, and so the time of the solstice, which is the darkest day of the year, the beginning of the rebuilding of light, is a better time of the year for many reasons. I could do several classes, even one just from a cardology perspective, where January 1st is the King of Spades. We have air for 13 days, and then we hit Earth, the King of Diamonds. We hit that Earth element. We go from flowing to like hitting a rock, and that's why I'm not going to say that's why, but I'm going to say that's part of why many people break their New Year's resolutions about 2 weeks in, and I bet you if people really think back to those times, it's about 2 weeks, So give yourself another like 13 days in a water element, which is another flowing element, and you actually have a chance of having developed a habit over at least 21 days between like the 17th or so of December until we hit that earth element in the middle of January. You will actually have had time to develop the habit and keep it going. Have much more strength, discipline, or practice, when you hit that air element, which will help you to actually push through and have a new habit formed. So January 1st is just a little late. Anytime is better than no time, as far as manifesting our desires, the lives that we love. Anytime that you decide to make that happen is dope. Affirm it, but start affirming it now, into the new year. And by the time we hit that hard earth in the middle of January, we'll already have a habit. We'll already have alchemized and created. We will have shifted timelines. If we start ASAP, my suggestion is on December 17th with new habits, intending over the course of Saturday the 17th through at least Wednesday the 21st, like use those 5 days to be disciplined about doing all the things you need to do. I know how hard it is to create new disciplines, and so I don't say things lightly or try to push hard agendas. But I will say, if there is any time where you will be super grateful for being disciplined, it's going to be the 5 days between December 17th and December 21st. If you are able to be disciplined for those 5 days, I guarantee you that you will make a quantum leap to a timeline that's closer to the life that you love. Oh gosh, I feel like I was talking forever, and it's only 4.5 minutes. That's what happens sometimes when I smoke weed, which I don't do every often, but I do, and I did do today. Still, I'm not going to read tarot today. I'm just going to pull a card from the Shaman Oracle. I got to shout out Fatima Merminesh for suggesting that I get this mystical Shaman Oracle deck and guidebook from Alchemy Ritual Goods. Fa told me to get it, and I'm glad that I did. I think all of my clients are glad that I did. So I'm just going to pick one of these cards and read the message and probably cut this short. The big point is be disciplined. I'm calling it the 5 days of solstice. I'm going to make a song or a poem or something called the 5 days of solstice. I gave myself to me. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, don't judge me. That was just, I'm not an off the dome artist yet. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't say that. I'm becoming an off the dome artist. Ooh. Word. So we got the witness. The witness, you know. Before I get into the book's description of the witness, I gotta say that it is important to develop a witness. We have to, in my opinion, or we don't have to, but it's a good idea if you want to live a life you love, to develop an inner witness that sees you. You know, like a witness that is separate from the ego. Because the ego is a great tool, but it's definitely not the view of the world that you want to shape your decision making. You want to use your ego as a tool. You do not want to let your ego use you. But anyway, you want to develop a witness, you know, and the way that I developed my witness was for years just examining all of my thoughts and asking, like literally asking out loud if I was by myself and if I was in public around other people that I didn't want to see me talking to myself. I would say in my head, like each thought, whose thought is this? Like, especially if it's some dark, heavy shit that you know is not really a part of your nature. Not that dark, heavy shit is bad or wrong, but you want to be sure that that dark, heavy shit is yours before you allow it to affect your decision making. And one of the ways to be sure is to develop a witness that's separate from the ego. And again, I developed mine by literally with every heavy thought, I'm like, is this my thought? You know, or is this something in the collective unconscious? Not saying which, not judging. But just by being disciplined and present enough to your thoughts to ask that question every time you have a thought, a questionable thought, the more you ask that question, the more the witness is naturally going to develop, and you will literally be able to see your reactions and your emotional response to those reactions without being overly attached to those emotional reactions. Like, honor the emotions, let the emotions be what they are, process them, but don't let them drive your decision making, and certainly not your behavior. So I'm gonna start, but develop a witness. Do something to be present and have a witness that allows you to see the ego and honor and appreciate the ego without letting the ego have you on some bullshit. Dang, I lost the book. I got so many books. I just had a session. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. So we are reading from the Shaman Oracle by Alberto Villoldo, who is the author of Shaman Healer Sage, one of my first spiritual books that I love and suggest. Colette Baron Reed was a part of this collaboration, and I can't remember the first name of the artist, but the last name is Lobos. Colette Baron Reed, I've heard her name a lot. I have never actually read anything of hers, but, you know, anyway, spiritualist, archetypal, indigenous energy. I don't know if this is going to get, it's probably too dark in here for this to be clear. Well, that's not too bad. Anyway, it's card number 64, which is 10, which is all about new beginnings. It's like you've completed a full cycle of learning, and now you're starting to learn something new with all of the past wisdom as a support or a gift. We're leveling up and we're being observant, and moving slow and with intention as opposed to being reactionary. All right, 64. The witness observes without engaging in any action. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. As Asar Aset would say, we are made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. And while that may be for some an unrealistic ideal, it is definitely a choice, and with practice you can get there. We are made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. So at our core, in the center, in the heart, when we slow down, bring our awareness to our heart, maybe take a deep breath before we make a decision, just giving ourselves those few breaths to think before we speak or react, we are able to make better decisions. Again, the witness observes without engaging in any action. We are made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. By cultivating inner stillness, we are able to assess any situation from a higher perspective and make better decisions. We are made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. When we can be present for someone else's difficulties with stillness, then we are able to truly hear them and give better advice, if advice is what is needed. Sometimes you just need to let a person talk. Sometimes we can be so still that we become a mirror for the other. I am made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. Then, through our presence, they receive their own answers. Just like I said, if advice is what is needed. How funny. I say it and then I read it. Anyway. The witness that has been by your side all along is now ready to become your ally. The witness that has been by your side all along is now your ally. You thought you were the doer, but today you discover that things happen when we get out of our own way. Slow down. Take a deep breath, bring your awareness into your heart, and witness creation unfolding before you. Change reality by finding stillness and letting your true intent reveal itself. I am made, we are made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. Ooh, I wish I had a book over here. But I don't. Acknowledge your preconceptions, ideas, and feelings about the situation you are in, but resist the urge to change any of it. Do not fall back into your controlling patterns. Instead, take a few deep breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform. You don't always have to perform. You can just be. And if you allow yourself to just be, you won't be so exhausted. Performing is dope when you can do it, but it's supposed to be done for short periods of time because it's exhausting pretending to be something that you're not. It's like living in fight or flight, which lots of Black folks do. Lots of people, period, do. Is anybody who is driven or hears in their head more fear-based things than love-based things. Do not fall back into your controlling patterns. Instead, take a few deep breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform. Hold space for the world to keep spinning on its own.